Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's show we'll be discussing what makes roller coasters really good. Let's start off with the restraint system. Now what's really important is they need to feel secure, safe, comfortable, but at the same time give you a huge amount of freedom, which is why the lap bar is easily the best way to go. Look at how good Helix is, look at how good Shambhala is. They are very good lap bars because you feel safe, but at the same time you feel free to move around. And also what follows up with that is feeling that you are given enough space and room on the actual train itself. So for example, Helix and Shambhala, you have plenty of space. Shambhala's back seats, you almost are possibly too isolated from everyone else on the carriage, whereas something like Thorpe Park's Colossus, where you feel very crammed in to your own seat, you feel like everything, including the restraint system, kind of like crushes you into your seat, you feel very kind of like insulated, isn't as good. Let's also have a look at like airtime and other elements. Now clearly airtime is the best thing about roller coasters. It gives you flow to or ejector. That is excellent. Like either taught, that's positive, negative G's, it's leaving your seats, especially with that lap bar we've just discussed. Excellent stuff. As for inversions, there are a couple of versions which work really well, such as a dive loop or a barrel roll. Either of those, as well as the 0G rule, they're excellent. They just tend to really flung you out your seats. They tend to add a lot of pace to the ride. They don't tend to slow it down. They tend to have a lot of intensity to them. They're great where stuff like a cobra roll or a corkscrew is fairly boring and mundane. Let's also introduce another little feature which isn't on too many rides, but it's really cool and it does happen, and that is introducing water, such as a water splashdown, or maybe something along the lines of water pistols, stuff like that. There isn't that many. Shambhala and Sheikra are the two rides have been on with a water splashdown, and they're both excellent. They're really good fun. They're a very good, excellent interjunction. It goes without saying, but most really good rides have a really good drop. The height of the ride and the drop it has is generally a mainstay of making a ride really good, because you hugely increase the speed of a high drop, and it means it's generally quite reliable because you're not reliant on launches to get the speed. Which is why Shambhala's my favourite ride, and things like Goliath is also on there, but once again look at Sheikra, the drop on that is insane. It's just really cool. You also have to look at FEMEN. Now FEMEN on most rides can be very kind of hit or miss, but there are certain rides where it works incredibly well. For example, the near miss elements on any wing coaster. It adds so much to any wing coaster having near miss elements, like Heide Park and Flight of the Demon. The near miss element on that is really cool when you kind of go under the building. So it's the same with the Swan when you go past the kind of the wing of the plane. Both absolutely excellent, and that is made because of the FEMEN and the close quarters to that FEMEN you are. But then you also look at Soar, and that FEMEN has been used exceptionally well to really improve what is actually generally pretty decent ride anyway, but it's taken that ride to the next level. It's given it a real kind of character. It really fits really nice with that sort of style of roller coaster as well. Which also brings us to the last little point, which is uniqueness. It's all very well having all these tick boxes for what every roller coaster has, but if it doesn't have anything special going for it, which really stands out from the crowd, then it can become a potentially quite a rubbish ride. I mean, you could look at something like Nemesis Inferno. It actually should be considered a really good ride. It has everything you need, but there's nothing particularly special or unique about it. Whereas you flip on over towards like Saw the Ride, and it had one of the steepest drops ever on a roller coaster, several inversions, airtime. It has really good theming. It's the first one filmed to themed to a film, which was really good, and that really improved the ride. I mean, so pretty much what we're looking at is how good the car is, how good the restraints are, interesting inversions, airtime, good theming, which affects the ride if needed, and it does happen quite often, but smoothness is really good. As obviously it's all very well having all of those, but if you have a ride which shakes about like anything, it's not going to be that good. But that is entirely down to how the ride is manufactured. If the pieces tend to be built really large and put together in large chunks, the ride will tend to be more smooth. If it is a really well designed ride, it will also run really smoothly. And also if there is a slightly massive sound, if the track is full of sand and the spots for sand, it will be a little bit quieter as well. They're the main things I tend to rate really highly. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.